On our premiere episode, we tackle pooping in public, knowing when to make your move, and how Meatloaf can tear a family apart. All that and more on Bad Advice with Lori Beth Denberg.
Help me out, almighty Lori Beth Denberg. Give me the vital information so I get the right thoughts. So do yeah, the church of Lori Beth is in session, and we're reading from the scriptures of vital information. Talking my goddess and my savior, my LBT. Just tell me what's going on with me. Oh my goddess and my savior, my LBT. Just tell me what's going on with me. The Lori Beth Denberg.
Hello, this is Lori Beth Denberg. Welcome to Bad Advice with Lori Beth Denberg. It's a podcast. There weren't enough podcasts, so I thought we need a podcast. Let's put it out there. Thank you for joining us. I hope you end up enjoying the show. I don't know what to do if you don't. Call up and ask about it. I'll tell you what you should have done better, I guess. With me right now is my co-host and my friend, Clark Crozer.
Hello, how are you?
I am just fine. How are you?
I am doing pretty good. I'm very excited. I've been wanting to do this for a long time.
I know. Clark and I have been talking about doing a podcast for easily 10 years.
Oh, easily 10 years. Yeah.
We've talked about it before podcasts were invented.
Not only have we been talking about it, people have been talking to us about it. People have been, I keep telling people that we're going to do this, and they're like, finally.
Yes, there was much clamoring in our immediate circles. But here we are. And actually, here we are. Now, I want to say right up front, this is not a political podcast.
Yep.
There's not going to be that vibe, but we cannot ignore that today, right now, in our inaugural, pun intended, podcast, our very first podcast, it is November 7th, 2020, and Joe Biden has just passed the electoral threshold.
That's right.
And is now officially our president-elect.
Yeah, that's a historical moment.
Yes, and Miss Kamala Harris is our vice president-elect. So it has been quite a week. It has been quite a year.
Mm-hmm.
We somehow managed to make it to November of 2020, which...
It's taken a couple of years, but
It's taken a couple of years, yes, to get to this point. But we're here. That's what's going on in the news. I just felt like we couldn't, we're not...
Well, when historians look back on this show as the first show, they're going to go, oh, see, it's you got to put it in context.
Yeah. At the end of 2020, when the whole world does implode and aliens come down to sift through the wreckage.
And they're like, hey, look at this podcast we found.
Yes, they will definitely find one flash drive containing this podcast to represent all of humanity. I know that's a tall order.
It's like the gold record that we put in the ship that we sent out into space.
Exactly.
To talk to alien life forms.
Yes. And the aliens are like, these people are idiots, but I love the Jackson 5. I am toe tapping. I'm tapping my 10 toes on each foot.
Exactly.
Because I'm an alien.
Wait, we have 10 toes on. Oh, wait, 10 toes on each foot.
On each foot.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I heard 10 toes, and then I was like, oh.
The superior race is going to have more toes than us, Clark.
But are they all on the front? Or do you put some on the back?
Oh, that's interesting, because that would give you a real balance.
Yeah, or you put some on the side, then you're like...
Whoa, then you're like a
smooth. You're like Smooth Criminal. You're just kind of leaning over really far every time you do something. That'd be pretty awesome. All right. Well, would you like to start getting into some questions?
Yes, I want to say that these are, I would call the show Bad Advice with Lori Beth Denberg.
Yeah.
But it is our intention to give good advice on all different topics, goofy stuff, fun stuff, hard stuff, personal stuff, whatever it is. I do have some life experience. Yes, I have been on your televisions for 25 years.
Yeah,
25 years plus. Ooh. So, not only do I have a vast knowledge of getting hit with slimy things and have tuna fish dropped on me from 20 feet, which really happened.
Wait, a tuna fish or like bits of tuna fish?
At one point, they were all a tuna fish.
Okay.
Then they were processed.
Okay.
As
and
they would
then
say
they
in
hit
Canada.
you.
That was for our big Canadian audience.
Right. Which we do. We have a huge Canadian following,
Yes,
even though we haven't started yet.
If we exactly, we are very popular worldwide.
Right. Taiwan loves us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but I have had, a nice little life. Sometimes not so nice, and I can share those experiences with you and commiserate.
But more importantly, we've had a life and we're friends, and we want to include you as one of our friends.
Yes.
So that's what we want to do. You're one of our friends now. You're part of the group.
Yes.
And as part of the group, you are privy to our amazing wealth of information.
Oh, yes.
Because we've lived lives. Everyone's lived lives, but we've lived crazy lives.
We have lived some crazy lives.
And I think there's a lot of people out there that need friends like us.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
And quite frankly, I could use some more friends because you all alone are not cutting it.
Yeah, I can't do this alone.
All right, we ready to?
Yeah, if you're ready, I'm ready.
Questions have come into us through Twitter, right? And Instagram. We're at Ask Lori Beth.
That's
on
right.
Twitter and Instagram. We have a Facebook page.
Yep. Ask Bad Advice with Lori Beth Denberg.
Thank you. And then we have a specialized, personalized license plate of a phone number.
Yes, we do.
Which is 1-855-Denberg. That is my last name, Denberg.
Isn't that funny?
So there's lots of ways to get to us, and let's see who got to us.
Yeah. All right. Let's do it. Okay. Let's start things off with this is John, and he's having some really hard problems in life.
Okay.
Hey, Lori Beth. My name is John. I am scared to use public bathrooms because of the cleanliness level of toilet seats. And I don't have the leg strength to hold a squat through the duration of my business. So I would appreciate any advice that you have. Thanks.
There you go. All right, John. Thank you.
Okay, John, thank you very much. For opening up.
Yeah.
That's pretty decent.
Opening question.
Exactly.
Thank you.
So what's interesting to me is, like, as I told you at the beginning of the show, what today is. We are in 2020. We are in, COVID pandemio. So what John doesn't say is whether this is a 2020 issue about cleanliness or just an issue he's had forever.
Right.
I'm going to say that it's probably a long-standing thing, or he would have really mentioned that, I think.
I've never heard that you can catch COVID through the ass.
No, you can catch a lot.
Yeah, but I don't think you can get COVID through the ass.
I can catch a Frisbee.
Oh, nice.
I'll show you later.
All right. Yeah, this is probably a long-going problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So, John, first of all, I don't know that there's anyone who's like, I can't wait to take a shit in public.
Yeah.
I just hope something bubbles up while I'm at the library.
Let me tell you, if there are those people, I don't like those people.
Or are they just free spirits?
I mean, everyone has a thing. Maybe that's just their thing.
Yeah.
If they're like a cool, nice person, but they just really enjoy taking shits in public.
Yeah.
I'd let them slide.
And again, in public, meaning in a public restaurant.
In a restaurant, right. They aren't just like dropping trow in the Times Square.
It's funny. Years ago, John, we will get to your question. I was with a bunch of friends. I really had to go to the bathroom. I had to take a shit.
Yeah.
And I was near my library, which is probably why I thought about the library. And so I ducked in there and I went to the bathroom. And I felt so much better. And then afterwards, I saw a friend in there. I was like, hey, Tom, whatever. And
what was Tom doing in that bathroom?
No, he's in the library.
Oh, in the library.
He's in the library.
Oh, okay.
And so then later, I was just talking to some other friends, and I'm like, yeah, I had to stop. I took a dump in the library. And they were like, ew. And I was like, well, in the bathroom, not in children's classics. I was like, what do you think I'm saying? And maybe, whatever.
No.
Maybe they thought it was TMI, but.
Karen, my wife, she was living in New York for a while. And the 1 year she decided she was going to do the ball drop, right? The New Year's Eve Times Square ball drop. She goes over there. She's with friends and family members, all this stuff. And they pack you in like sardines, right? So now the whole street is just packed with people, and then they don't let you leave. If you leave, even if you have to go to the bathroom, You leave, you never come back.
Uh-oh.
Whoever you're with basically has to find another way to get in hold of you because you can't go back to where you were. So because of that, people were just pissing and shitting on the street.
Oh.
And which is one, that's bad normally.
How different is that from New York on a regular day?
Yeah, but imagine when you're packed in together.
Oh, yeah.
And there's shit on the ground.
That's not great.
That's not good.
That's like the worst dog park ever.
Exactly.
All right, let's get to John.
All right, John wants to know how to deal with toilets.
John has been waiting with bated breath for our help.
Bated butthole.
Bated butthole. John. It is not uncommon to be uncomfortable, taking a dump in a public restroom.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to work on this from, not attack the problem, but attack the symptoms, you could really work out your thighs and your quads, really get the power to keep that squat. However, emotionally, there are the quick fixes. Some bathrooms have those toilet seat covers.
Right.
You could always use 3 or 4 of those.
Right.
You could.
I always think of I don't know if this is moral or not, but you take the handicap stall, then they have those metal bars.
Oh.
You can grab onto those metal bars, and then you're not squatting. Then you're just hovering a little, using your arm strength.
Or, then you work out your biceps, triceps, and quads.
Exactly.
Then you could probably just tense up and hover.
I think what we're finding here is that there is some sort of exercise routine involved in going to the bathroom that nobody has tapped into yet.
Or, John, you could really say, is there any merit to what I'm really scared about? Right. Because, like Clark said, I haven't heard of anybody getting COVID up the ass.
Right.
But you are sitting, I understand. You're sitting on something that other people sit on without their pantaloons. Mm-hmm. And it's a little unnerving. I would suggest, first of all, you didn't say it, but if this is a crippling anxiety issue, please seek professional help. Right. I am in no way. We should have prefaced that.
Yeah, we are not doctors.
I am not quite a doctor.
Not scientists.
I'm barely an actress. So we should really just get that straight. So yeah, if it is a real problem, please get some help from someone who is more qualified than me, which is probably your mailman and up. But, what I might suggest is going somewhere where you really trust the toilet. Go to the lobby of a really nice hotel.
Right.
Go somewhere.
Or can I throw something out here?
You may.
What if he goes the opposite route? What if he goes to the sleaziest sleazy bar downtown, wherever, horrible shit-covered toilet?
Oh.
He gets used to it. He just sits on that and just gets over it. And then from that point on, it's like, well, it can't be worse than the shitty toilet at the Scum Hotel.
Well, I wouldn't go that far because, quite frankly, I can take a shit in public. But if I went into a shit-covered, sleazy bar bathroom, I would hold it.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean?
It's true.
You don't have to go that far. But I think maybe you start at the lobby of the Four Seasons.
Right. You work your way up.
You work your way down.
Down, yeah.
You work your way down in
quality. Quality toilets. So they're hard to find these days.
And I wouldn't go too far. Well, what you're going to have to do, John, is, if you want to do that, take this tack. You're going to start at a very nice hotel in the lobby bathroom. You're going to work your way down. I would say pass through the library at some point. That was a good experience for me. You're going to go down. At the very bottom is going to be... Now, I know it's a joke that Starbucks bathrooms are gross, but they're not. But I would go, my last 3 ticks down would be Starbucks, McDonald's, and gas station. Right. You got to do the gas station at some point.
Exactly. Like I was saying, once you can get through that, then I feel like you can get through anything.
Exactly. And what I should say, though, now, just to, again, stamp this in time.
Sure.
We are still in the middle of a fairly deadly, dangerous pandemic.
Exactly.
So you can't right now. John, you're a little off the hook. You're not allowed to take a shit at McDonald's right now.
Exactly.
So, maybe this is something you can mentally prepare for.
Also, because of the pandemic, perfect timing. Everyone is carrying hand sanitizer with them.
Everyone, yeah.
Just spray down anything. If you're going to sit on a toilet, spray it down with hand sanitizer.
Yes.
What's it going to hurt? Right?
And know that a decent, reputable establishment were it to become an issue that you needed to use their restroom, they are going to be taking extra cleanliness, cleansing, sanitation precautions.
Exactly. Everyone's scared right now.
This might be a good opportunity to
practice shitting.
Yes.
You got to
Take
practice.
A couple practice shits.
Little practice shits.
Just dip your toe in the pool.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta start slow
Yes.
and then build up. All right.
That's what I say. John, good luck.
I love that.
Let us know what happens. Send us a picture.
I feel like that's some very good advice. I really do.
Amen.
All right. Let's go over here to Steven. Steven has a very, very odd question.
Okay.
Hi, Lori. I
Hi.
just wanted to get a little advice on a problem that I've been dealing with lately. Whenever your mom and dad make some meatloaf and you want to have it for breakfast the next morning but can't
Of
because
course.
they say that meatloaf isn't a breakfast?
Right.
You know when that happens?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do. I know when that happens. And what do you do? Can you just please tell me what do I do so I can eat a little meatloaf for breakfast? My name's Steven,
Yeah.
and that's my problem.
I love
Okay,
Steven. Steven is
Steven.
so dramatic.
Yeah, he's very dramatic. He
Yeah.
also sounds about 26. So my first advice would be don't live with your parents.
Yeah. Yes. That's a good start.
Although honestly, I live with my father.
That's true. That's true.
My father is 73 years old. He had heart surgery. God, it's probably 4 years ago. He
Yeah.
had aortic valve replacement. So he's a little piggy valve.
Hmm.
So whenever I make bacon, we always joke like, I wonder if this is the one your valve is from.
Hey.
And after that, I was supposed to, you need someone to stay with you. You can't lift weight
Right.
of like over 5 pounds, blah, blah, blah. So I went to go stay with him to take care of him. And I was like, why don't I just live here? He's not getting any younger.
That's
I can
true.
help him with stuff. Quite frankly, the price is right.
Yeah, exactly.
So when I say to you, John, maybe don't live with your parents, I'm saying from my experience, I do. And yet I can eat whatever I like for breakfast.
Yeah, that's the thing. You've gotten to a relationship with your dad where he's not telling you what you can and can't eat anymore.
Yeah, it's pretty easy going as far as that.
Yeah.
So, but somehow Steven has gotten himself into a situation where he is under the thumb
Right.
and like the meatloaf is put into a rat trap that he can't grab lest he be
Now,
ruined.
there's the other part of this question too, which is, do you enjoy meatloaf for breakfast?
Okay, well, here's the other thing.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody going to tell you what is for breakfast.
Right?
Anything you eat first thing.
Yeah. Is breakfast. It's just the law.
Yeah. If I wake up at 3 p.m, which is a common occurrence,
Sure.
whatever I eat first is breakfast.
Right. Hamburgers,
Meatloaf, egg, could be eggs and bacon.
eggs and bacon.
No one can
lobster.
tell you, Stephen. Breakfast is anything you can imagine.
Yeah.
And more.
That's the best part of being an adult. That's when I felt like I became an adult, when I could just eat whatever I want.
Yes.
I mean, for me, that happened when I was maybe 15 or 16,
Yeah.
but still,
He was horribly neglected
Yeah.
from a young age.
or just horribly force fed.
Yes. Oh, my dear.
Yeah.
So also, Stephen, here's the deal. Make your own goddamn meatloaf.
Yeah. There you go. Show them. Don't give them any.
What are they? Yeah. Well, no. You should be happy to share with them and say,
See,
I'm giving you this meatloaf with no strings attached. This is unconditional meatloaf.
that's why you give the good advice, because you
Yeah.
go the kind way.
I try to go the kind
You got to
way.
be kind, especially when it's your parents.
Yeah.
Even if they're not kind to you and give you meatloaf.
Yeah.
If you're making meatloaf, you give some to them.
You absolutely give some to them. You say,
Don't
Yeah.
stoop down to their level.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I am not going to tell you, Mom and Dad, how, when, where you should eat this meatloaf. If you want to eat it at midnight on the toilet, please do so, and then call John from
Right.
the last question and let him know how it went down.
Maybe his parents are better at squatting.
Exactly. Yeah, whatever you eat first is breakfast.
Yeah, I completely agree.
If you are in a situation, Stephen, if you are under duress, if you are in a bad situation, tap the phone twice. We will send help.
I also feel like meatloaf shouldn't be the be all end all of meals. Like, you can get meatloaf anywhere. You could go to the grocery store and buy a pre-cooked meatloaf.
Yeah, but if your mom's making her special meatloaf.
He didn't say it was a special meatloaf. He just said it was meatloaf.
Yeah.
Meatloaf is not the kind of thing that's going to make you right home to...
Meatloaf is not the hill that you would die on.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. I mean, it's meatloaf.
Yeah.
You'd at least save that for, something extravagant. You want steak or lobster or, something that you would get at Black Angus, right?
Oh,
that's fancy.
Breakfast is steak and eggs. Throw a couple eggs on there, maybe
there you
meatloaf
go.
and eggs. Maybe we'll just find some loopholes to get through this meatloaf tragedy that's happening in your house. Can't you see this meatloaf is tearing Stephen's family apart?
I agree. That's a very good idea.
All right. We've given you a lot to work with there, Stephen.
Seriously.
Good luck. Seriously. Good luck.
I have high hopes for you, my friend. All right. We're moving on to question number 3. We've got Mikey from Facebook land, and he has a question for you. It's not recorded, so I'm just going to read it.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Does drinking non-alcoholic beer, LB, is that still considered drinking if you're staying sober? Very
interesting. I've come up against this question before. I myself have been sober for just over 15 years.
Oh, well done.
So, yeah.
As if I didn't know that.
I know, right?
Oh, congratulations.
It's the first time we've met.
A little golf clap.
Exactly. So this question actually has come up.
Yeah.
And I actually know somebody who was sober, and his, support group, after he drank a 12-pack of O'Doul's, was like, I think you...
In the meeting?
Yeah. Just every 2 minutes you just heard...
Keep going. He's just like... Yeah.
And then a large belch.
But he drank a 12-pack.
He like went to town on it, and in the end decided to say, okay, that was a lapse in sobriety. But I have also other friends that do have an occasional non-alcoholic beer. I have one time had a non-alcoholic beer in sobriety.
Really?
I was with an ex-boyfriend in Vegas, and I had and this was years into my sobriety.
Sure.
I had a non-alcoholic beer and was smoking inside.
Oh, yeah. Vegas.
You can do that. And
absolutely.
Like, this is the naughtiest I've ever been.
Yeah.
Clark and I are from Los Angeles.
Born and raised
in the San Fernando Valley, where Valley girls come from.
Oh, yeah.
And so, quite health conscious.
We haven't been able to smoke indoors here for 20 years.
Something like that. I was still in high. We were still in high school.
Yeah, maybe 30 years.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago. So the thought of smoking inside to most people from California or LA specifically is just kind of absurd.
Well, I would expect to be handcuffed and
exactly.
security.
Beaten up.
Exactly. So to be able to be smoking inside.
That's crazy.
And then, have a non-alcoholic beer was like, oh my God, this is where my life is, that I was like, this is the pinnacle of awesome. But I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
I will tell you something very seriously.
Yeah.
Having that beer made me want more beer.
Did it?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. So, and that was like a real thing.
Yeah.
I told my friends about.
Yeah.
Like, that just set off a craving for more beer. I didn't have any, luckily.
See, here's the thing. You've had addiction problems before.
Yeah.
I have never been drunk.
Clark
I've never been drunk. I can't get drunk. I've tried. Friends have tried. My only thing is I get nervous because I get so afraid that somebody's going to be like, drink. And then I'll keep drinking. And then I'll just go I'll be like, not drunk, dead. Right?
Yes,
like I'm just going to skip past drunk and just go straight to dead.
Yeah.
So I'm always nervous. I make people drink with me because when I was in my 20s, every time I said this to somebody, I can't get drunk. It doesn't affect me. They get offended. They get mad at me, and then it becomes a challenge.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden there's a big challenge, and we're going to get you drunk. I'm like, and so what would happen is I would make people drink with me. I'll do whatever you want, but whatever I drink, you have to drink. And when you're done, I'm done.
Yeah.
And so we would go through, and I would have, for my 21st birthday, I was, working at Universal Studios with a bunch of cowboys.
Yes.
And we went to a cowboy bar. They took me to a cowboy bar with a bunch of stuntmen, and we were drinking. And I swear to God, I must have had 5 beers, 3 mixed drinks, and about 5 shots. And but it was hard because I couldn't play that game because there were so many people that multiple people were buying me drinks. So I couldn't play the game of if I get one, you get one, because there was too many people around. But so it's hard for me to know what advice to give something like this. I don't understand the desire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
I don't get that.
Listening, you should just know Clark is a big guy.
Yeah.
He's about 7 foot 350.
Right.
Is that about it?
Oh, close.
No, he's very tall and not a demure flower.
No, not at all. So when I drink, it doesn't hit me at all.
He's invincible.
So it's hard for me to think about somebody that drinks a non-alcoholic drink and then is just like, this is going to lead me to something horrible.
Yeah. Well, especially, obviously, his question is, the framing of the question is that
staying sober. Exactly.
So what I'm going to say is that's a real personal decision that you should make in conjunction with other people in your life that are supporting you.
I agree.
I can say I know friends, like I said, that have had, non-alcoholic beer. They have it every once in a while. My one friend is like, yeah, just with a burger. Sometimes I want it.
Exactly.
It's not an everyday thing. I had one once and it set off a craving.
Yeah.
That was dangerous. And I was honest about it. I told my friends, I said, here's what happened.
Yeah.
And I made it through that, week or whatever it was. But that has really stuck with me. Right.
It wasn't the danger of the drink as much as the scary feeling afterwards of wanting more and wanting it back.
And that's the deal with addiction is
more.
More is better.
Exactly.
So be careful.
That's good.
Be careful and ask for help and ask for guidance and drink responsibly.
That's a good idea. All right.
Can I tell a story about my 21st birthday?
Please. Yeah, let's hear it.
My 21st birthday fell while I was working on All That.
Okay.
For anyone who doesn't know, I'm an actress and I worked on a television show called All That on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
My 21st birthday fell on a shooting night of All That when the audience was coming in. So this really great guy, Nick Donatelli, if you're out there, I'd be surprised if you're listening, but you're the best. He was one of the producers. He arranged for me to get a car to take me to work and then to this place called the Cat and Fiddle in Hollywood, which I don't know if it's there anymore.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it is.
And it was like a kind of Englishy, pubby, outside seating, blah, blah, blah. And I had alcohol before, but this was my 21st birthday. And, we would go there every week.
And this is probably season 3 or 4?
Season 3 or 4.
Because you were back here in LA.
Yes.
And you weren't still in that nervous, oh my God, I'm on a TV show phase. You were kind of experienced at that point.
Yeah. And I was older. So I would go out. Apparently I was 21.
Yeah, exactly.
But I would go out even before my 21st birthday. I would go out with everybody, not the kids, but like the crew.
Exactly.
And stuff.
It was more about the writers and the behind the scenes people that you were friends with.
So I would go out every week after the show. But this, of course, was my 21st birthday. So everyone was buying me drinks. I decided I needed to eat something. So I ate like some sort of it wasn't a steak and kidney pie. Oh, maybe it was a shepherd's pie.
Okay.
It was something like there were peas involved.
Because it's a British pub.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I should eat something. And then everyone's buying me drinks and this and that. And I'm already pretty, whatever. At one point, Dave Higgins, the actor.
Higgins Boys and Gruber?
Dave
Wow,
Higgins.
okay.
He happened to be there and he bought me a shot.
Wow.
He wasn't part of our party or anything like that.
He was
But
just
he was just
happened to
there,
be at the
yeah.
Cat and Fiddle.
He just happened to be there and he bought me a shot. And then the long story to that is that I eventually went to a taping of Ellen and brought him a bottle of what he was drinking that night.
Oh, nice.
And said, when it was like questions from the audience, I said, you brought some cheer to my birthday, so here's some cheer for you.
Oh, how
And,
sweet.
Yeah, it was fun. And he remembers because we're Facebook friends. And I said, hey, do you remember blah, blah, blah? Because he wished me happy birthday.
In case anyone out there is listening that has never watched Higgins Boys and Gruber, go on YouTube and just type in Higgins Boys and Gruber. There's just some amazing sketch comedy back then.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
That's when, before the Comedy Channel was,
Yeah.
Before Comedy Central was Comedy Central, it was the Comedy Channel.
That's right.
And if you look back on that stuff, you are going to see an extraordinarily young Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
hosting the show.
Yes.
You are going to see a lot of your beloved comedy figures, actors, producers, writers.
As babies.
As little tiny babies.
Yeah. Those were amazing shows.
They were really
Anyway,
really
didn't
great.
mean to interrupt.
Okay, sorry. Anyway, well, I interrupted myself by talking about going to a taping of Ellen. Now we're back to my birthday. I'm getting pretty buzzed. People keep buying me drinks. It's, mixing the alcohol, which all the experts, suggest. And then this one guy who we're all pretty sure was just a real alcoholic who worked on the show. He was a lighting guy. He comes up to me like the last thing of the night. And he's like,
good.
You need a shot of Jägermeister.
Oh, good Lord.
And I don't know what that is. Even now, even before I got sober, when I was still, a regular human, I didn't drink a lot. I was never good at drinking.
Right.
And so he's like, you need a shot of Jägermeister.
And nobody is a good Jägermeister drinker. That's just not the kind of drink that anyone is good at drinking.
Well, not nobody with more than 5% of a soul left.
Yeah, seriously.
But, and so then he gives me that, he orders that for me. I'm so gone already that it goes down like nothing.
Sure.
And I was like, okay, but that was the end. It was already the end of the night. So I'm now in this limousine because Nick Donatelli had gotten me a car to take me from my house to work, from work to the party, and then a limousine, which is very sweet.
That's very sweet.
It's very, very sweet. But when you are in a limousine by yourself, it does make you feel a little sad. Like I definitely couldn't get a date to prom.
Right. But you could afford the limo still.
Exactly.
Nice.
So I get home, I get out, I barely make it to the bathroom before throwing up peas and shepherd's pie.
But which place is this?
Oh, this
is
place on
Coldwater?
Coldwater Canyon.
Yeah, I love that place.
We called it the drug den because everyone there was doing drugs and drinking constantly.
Yeah, or making porn.
We can't waste every good story.
I know. We have so many. This is why we needed to have our own podcast, because we have so many good stories about living with crazy drug addicts and porn stars.
Yes.
And there's just crazy stories.
Hey, stop talking about my dad.
All right. But anyway, so you got home.
I got home. I threw up immediately. Yeah. So there's my shepherd's pie back. And I passed out. And the few times I have been drunk, I wake up like really early.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not, I went to bed super drunk at probably 1 a.m, maybe something like that. And just 6 a.m. I'm up.
Like can't go back to sleep.
Can't go back to just up.
Weird.
Feeling shitty.
Ugh.
And I remember I had an episode of The Simpsons that I had recorded that I hadn't watched yet. And it was the Sherry Bobbins episode.
Oh, nice.
So I'm on the couch, like just feeling as though I have had a 21st birthday party that ended with a shot of Jägermeister.
Right.
And I'm watching it. And there's part in there, if I can remember, it's like, oh man, it's the first time I can't remember.
Wow, you're missing a Simpsons quote.
He was like, it's a blood sausage pudding.
Right.
And Bart goes, the secret ingredient is blood. And I was just like, oh man. Yeah. So this was my 21st birthday party in show business land.
Nice. How odd that we both had 21st birthdays in showbiz land.
You did. Yes,
How
Clark
crazy.
worked. We'll have plenty of stories about this, but Clark had my dream job growing up, which was to be a
tour guide.
A tour guide at Universal Studios
Universal
Hollywood.
Studios.
But do we have another question?
We actually are good on time. We were going to move. Speaking of our long and storied history,
Yeah.
I thought we should maybe take people through a little flashback segment and talk about how we met and where we came from.
Yes, we've been going on about that. So
Wait. Let's leave room
Wow.
for a jingle.
Flashing back with Clark and LB, let's talk about some fond memories. 'Cause it's a flashback.
Okay. So
that is a good setup for our entire friendship.
it is.
For those of you who are saying, hey, Lori Beth, I loved you on Nickelodeon's All That.
Mm-hmm.
I loved you on Nickelodeon's Figure It Out.
Sure,
on
sure.
the why am I like pitching the
I don't
networks
know.
when I get
Yeah.
everything? I was on the Steve Harvey show. I've done some stuff.
Yeah. Who are the producers on that?
So yeah. So if you're saying, well, LB, I know you from everywhere. Who the hell is Clark Crozer?
Yeah.
I'll
That's a good
tell
question.
you who. Clark and I have been friends for how old are we? Since first grade.
Almost 40 years.
Almost 40 years.
Almost 40 years.
We met when we were in Miss Plaissance's class.
Woo! Shout out to Miss Plaisance.
Valerie Plaisance.
One of these days, I'm still in contact with her. One of these days, maybe we can get her for the show.
Oh, that would be so awesome.
Right? Kind of just call in and talk with us about how we were in first grade.
That is awesome. Yeah, we're all Facebook friends. Mrs. Plaisance was awesome. Still is.
Yeah, still is.
And so she had one of those split classes that was first and second grade.
Mhm.
I was in second grade and Clark comes in first. He's a little younger than me.
Yeah, that's all right.
But he's younger than me, but he's much better at growing a beard.
I make up for it by being way less mature.
Yes.
So, so we met in my first, your second. We spent that year together. And then we kind of went back and forth throughout all of elementary because you and I were at one different. We would be together 1 year, and then the next year we would be in different classes.
Yeah.
And then we'd be together again for maybe third grade, and then we'd be apart again. So we kind of went back and forth through elementary school. And then you went to a different middle school, a little different junior high, right?
No, I went to Nobel.
We went to the same junior high.
We
I don't
went to the
remember
same
talking
junior
a
high.
lot to you in junior high.
No,
Junior high, middle school is just weird.
middle school is weird.
Nobody likes it. The kids don't like it. The teachers don't like. Nobody likes middle
Well, did
school.
Logan go to?
Yeah, Logan went
Okay.
to middle school. That's where I really became friends with Logan.
Okay.
Because we met at fifth grade in elementary, but he was kind of a friend of a friend. And then when we got to Nobel, to middle school, I didn't have that middle friend. So it was just like, you're my friend now.
Yes.
So I kind of took him.
And we'll talk about Logan, I'm sure, on many podcasts
Yeah.
coming. Clark's
Oh,
best
yeah.
friend, who I came to love in high school.
Yeah. So basically, we didn't really talk through
But
middle
we
school.
were like drama-ish together. a
Did you
little.
do Fernandez's
Yeah,
drama
oh,
class? Oh, that guy was a creep. There's
Yeah, he's
another
super creep.
wealth of content. Oh my God. I heard that he slept with a student. And
I
he
don't
was
know
a
that-
teacher in junior high.
Let's cover our
Okay.
asses.
Well,
COA.
I'm not saying that he
I
did it. I'm
don't
saying
know.
I
You
heard a
he-
rumor.
You heard that he allegedly might have
Yes.
been inappropriate with the student, which is
Yes.
exactly what I heard.
Oh my God.
So the point is, I think I do remember you from then.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I
I
do
was-
remember you from then.
I was in Dracula
I was around
with Eric Balfour.
with
Remember
Eric
that?
Balfour and Josh Poya.
Josh Poya. I just reconnected with him. Anyway, yeah, so we
that was
did.
junior
That was
high.
junior high. Junior high, nobody liked junior high.
Yeah.
High school is kind of where we both kind of hit our stride.
Yeah, high schools we were very involved in the drama department.
Very involved,
So
but-
that was like, where you really get the groupings. You get the goth kids hanging out
Right.
together. You get the real lunchroom split
Right.
up
The
then.
cheerleaders are over there.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So the drama kids would hang out in the drama room or right outside.
Right.
And
And it was
that's
just,
really-
it was always a good, easy go-to because we had so many years of friendship.
Yeah.
Even at high school,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
had a history. So it was kind of one of those like, oh, it's just easy. You don't have to make new friends. You
Yeah.
just have a friend here.
Well, also though, I want to say that Clark really got my jokes.
Oh, yeah.
Like I was like, it's possible to say I was ahead of my time.
Yeah.
That my
yeah,
material was a little above the head of
Oh,
high
yeah.
school students.
Absolutely.
But Clark, we had a lot in common. I mean, The Simpsons, Mystery Science Theater
Oh, yeah.
3000.
Big time.
Just some of our
Pop culture
Yes,
knowledge.
pop culture knowledge, plus just knowledge.
And just a sense of humor.
Just-
I feel
exactly.
like we had a very similar sense of humor.
Exactly.
And you would make fun of somebody and I would make fun of somebody.
Yeah.
And then we would see who has better jokes.
Yeah, we go, that guy's an idiot. And Clark would say, I concur.
And then we'd laugh.
Then we'd laugh and laugh.
Unlike all the people listening to us right now.
No,
Anyway,
I know, right?
yeah.
No, we were nice. We weren't assholes.
Yeah, we weren't mean
bullies.
people. Unless you ask the wrong people.
Yeah.
But then in the magical year of 1994, we were doing, can I say that somebody didn't pass their 94 graduation?
Oh.
So we were split.
Yeah,
you
you
were
or me?
You were a year ahead of me. So you should have graduated in 94 because I
Uh-huh.
graduated in 95. But meanwhile, in the fall of 95, when you came back to school, there was a fall festival. And the fall festival was a big drama event where drama classes from high schools around California or Southern California, one of the two.
DTAS, Drama Teachers Association of Southern
California. There you go. So they get together and all these schools have a competition, a drama competition where there's different categories. There's children's group, there's serious drama, there's comedy, all this stuff. And you were in the 2-person comedy category. Is that right?
No, you're ahead of year.
Am I?
What you're
Well,
about
it was
to
no,
talk
it was
about-
fall of 94 going into
no.
90. No,
It was yes, it was.
fall of 94.
The story you're about to tell about my meteoric rise into show business
Yes.
happened in what should have been, not what should, don't should all over yourself, what normally would have been my graduating senior year.
You sure?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm absolutely sure.
Okay.
So, yeah, I was in a 2-person comedy scene.
Yeah.
And
With somebody that you weren't very friends with.
No, we're not. We're not that close.
And I feel like that's an important part of the story is that there was conflict with the other person in the sketch.
Yes.
And yet you were still able to kind of like just murder it.
Yes, we did a
Kathy and Mo, right?
yeah, scene from the Kathy and Mo show called Los Hermanos.
Which is Kathy
sister.
Kathy Najimy and
Mo Gaffney.
Mo Gaffney.
So we did a scene from that as our, presentation, 5-minute sketch, just the two of us, and we won first place.
Yeah.
And then there was a showcase of all the first place scenes in all the categories.
Right.
And the producers from all that were there scouting for kids for what was at that point untitled sketch comedy show.
Right.
And
Called All Those Stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where they, saw us. They called a few people in to audition.
Now, was there anyone else that was called that made the show from that event?
No.
You were the only one.
No, I was
Nobody
the only
else
one.
was found from that.
No, other people were called in to audition, but I'm the only one who
Made it.
who continued.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that got you your big break
Yeah, that got me my job on all that.
on all that.
And that's why we had done. When was the earthquake?
93? 93? 94. 94 earthquake.
Because it all coincided with. So yeah, that was 94. So we would have done the fall festival. This makes sense now.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, hang with us
This-
for this
we're so
exciting,
close. We're
this
so
exciting
close.
trip through the calendar.
You're going to be blown away by the end of the story.
Because it was fall festival, right? So that's in the fall.
You're right.
Like September,
That's what I hope it is.
October, November, whenever it was.
Sure.
And then I got the job on
Right.
all that.
Right. In which you had to move for. You had
Yes.
to leave California and move to Florida.
This is the point. The first thing was to do the pilot, which was going to be just a week there.
Hmm.
February is when we were going to do the pilot.
Okay.
My flight from LA to Orlando, like my first cross country flight, I had not even auditioned for other stuff.
You were
Like,
still 18 at the time, right?
I was 17.
17.
It was a week before my 17th birthday.
Wow.
And at 5:30 in the morning, when I was supposed to leave on a plane, at 8:30 in the morning, that's when the Northridge quake happened.
No
Yeah.
shit. Wow.
So the Northridge quake happened.
So for anyone listening that doesn't live in California, the Northridge earthquake was the biggest earthquake of my lifetime.
Yeah, it was a big one.
It was our big one. So it happened in 1994. It was a holiday. It was Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Yeah, which
And-
is awesome because that meant that people weren't like,
staying at home and sleeping.
Exactly.
Because when it happened early in the morning, and it just devastated a lot of LA, but mostly the valley.
Yeah, there was
parking lots that were crumbled.
the
Freeways fell. Yeah,
It was
that's
a big
right.
one.
It was big.
In our lifetimes, we've been through plenty of earthquakes, and there's the two kinds. There's the rolling kind,
Right.
and then there's one where your house just like shakes back and forth, like chuk, chuk. And
Yes.
and I lived in Northridge. You didn't live far from Northridge.
No. I lived in Woodland Hills.
Yes. So I lived in my house was the epicenter.
Man.
But we were lucky, a lot of people we know were okay in the earthquake. They got new kitchens because their houses got ripped up.
Or new fences.
But it was a big deal. It's the first earthquake where, they're kind of fun.
Yeah.
They're littler and they roll. And this one, the 94 quake, was the first time that I'm like, oh, it's happening. How long is this going to go on for?
Yeah, I remember vividly running out of my house with my dad after it was done, running into the backyard to turn off the gas.
Yep.
And my dad turned to me and he goes, well, you just lived through the big one. And I'm like, wow, that's so dramatic. That stayed with me my entire life.
And then you just put on a symphony that swelled.
Exactly. It was Tchaikovsky playing in the background. It was a big event. And so you're saying it happened and you literally just had to leave everything on the ground and get on a plane?
No, I'm saying it happened. So the airport was shut.
Oh, no.
And I was thinking,
you're
I'm
not
going to go.
Yeah.
I was going to say, this could be my big break and I can't go. And, and of course that was me as a kid thinking that.
Right.
What ended up happening was as the day went on, things opened up and we ended up taking a red eye out to Orlando. So I had been up all day from 5:30 with an earthquake.
Cleaning, I'm sure.
Cleaning, checking
Sweeping
on people.
up glass. Yeah.
And then left on a red eye to go to Florida. When I got there, because of the time zones, it was morning and it was time to go to work. So Chicky picked me up from the airport and took me to the studio. So as though being on a TV show wasn't going to be surreal enough.
Exactly.
I had been up. I mean, it was a real trip.
Oh.
It was a real trip. And that was my foray into show business.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So LB moves to Florida and that kind of, it's not, we weren't close enough, or I didn't even have money back then. It's not like I could fly to Florida to see you, and you were way busy. It's not like you could really do it either. So we kind of lost contact for a couple of years.
Yeah, because I was there. We did the pilot. We did the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And then when I moved back to LA, because they moved the production from Orlando to LA.
They moved the whole studio.
They bought another studio.
They bought a new
studio.
Painted
it.
And then they got rid of their Florida studio. So they,
Yeah, I know. Years later, that's really sad.
Yeah.
But that's when we kind of reconnect. That's when you were at Pierce, and I would come see you in all your plays.
Yeah. So while
Clark's an actor too, and he was in all the plays, in high school and college, and he worked at Universal Studios as a performer.
I was about to say, so while you were kind of getting these shows and expanding there on TV, I was back here in LA. I went to college and I was still doing theater in college, but then I got my job at Universal. And the first job I got was the tram guide,
which was my dream job growing up.
Which is basically just an hour-long bullshit session.
Yes.
Because my theory was, if they're going to make me lie, I'm going to lie about what I want to lie about.
Absolutely.
Because there's just nonsense in that script. One of these days, if maybe for the show, I can just bring in the script because I still have it. It's right over there. We can just go through the tram guide script. It's filled with nonsensical lies. Anyway.
Her hair jumped first.
Exactly. So that was what we were doing. I was Universal and you were on TV, and we were kind of both making our way through our 20s. And then we kind of reconnected after you left Steve Harvey, maybe? Around Steve Harvey. We kind of reconnected around Steve Harvey. And we're, had just rekindled our friendship and started being friends again. And it's been that way ever since.
And
then we decided to make a podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I officiated your wedding.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yeah. That's right.
It's so, we'd gotten closer over the years. And, I love Clark's parents.
Yeah.
And always have.
Yeah.
But,
it's been an amazing 40 years. I'll definitely say that. Yeah, it's pretty fantastic.
And there's a million stories in between that we didn't even get to, and we will get to them eventually on this podcast.
But before we go any further, I think we should do one last question.
Okay.
This is a little bit more of a serious one. So let's see what you have to say.
I have a question. There's a girl that I like, and I've liked for a really long time. She's one of my best friends. Now, we recently just connected after a 2-year friendship break. And I thought the feelings were gone, but they are totally not. She has a boyfriend who does not treat her well at all. He's verbally abusive and can be physical too. So my question is, should I try asking her out? Should I shoot my shot? Or should I respect the relationship even though he's an asshole? Thanks.
All right.
Bubba.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
That is, well, what I think is if you truly care about this person, this woman, and, she says that she's dating a man. I don't know if she's bi. I don't know that situation at all.
Right.
But for what it is, at the moment, if you truly care about this person and she's in this bad situation with an abusive boyfriend, I would say the thing to do would be her friend.
Right.
And let her know you're there to support her. Let her know you're concerned about that.
Yeah. I feel like the more important thing here is that the friend that you like is being abused.
Yeah.
That should be taken care of first.
Yeah. So you have a crush on this person, but you've gotten to know her because you're friends, and to truly care about someone, would be to be able to help her and support her if she wants it.
Right.
Without the ulterior motive.
Right. Exactly.
Of I really like her. And
because honestly, here's the thing. That's what she needs. She needs that friend right now. She doesn't need somebody that's going to make her already kind of shitty situation shittier.
Well, yeah, if you're going, it's like that, going to another friend, my boyfriend, I'm having trouble with my boyfriend.
Right.
So I go to another friend of mine to talk to, and then he puts the moves on me.
Exactly. That's the last thing that you want to happen.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's time to shoot your shot.
Yeah.
But it's definitely time and appropriate to support your friend.
Yeah.
However she wants, even if it's you as a friend saying, it's hard for me to watch this. He treats you really badly.
Yeah.
I'm here for help if you want it.
Absolutely.
So that's, I don't think it's the time to profess your love. Plus this woman is in a relationship that's toxic and she's choosing. I mean, it's easy to get trapped in a bad relationship. Trust me. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But wherever her head is at, she's with this man.
Yeah.
And is involved in this, abusive relationship and is tolerating it for who knows why.
Right.
Who knows what reasons.
But you also have to kind of be a little delicate too, because I feel like if you walk in guns a-blazing or just constantly saying, oh, this guy's horrible. This guy's horrible. He's ruining you. He's horrible for you. That's for some people, that's just going to encourage her to stick it out longer or try harder or to be defensive about it, So I would even be a little bit cautious about bad mouthing the dude.
Yeah.
I'd be more in line along the lines of, just like you said, being there as a friend, making sure she understands that, she deserves a little better and that, but this is her moment to kind of get out of that situation.
Yeah.
You can't really be the savior because then the resulting relationship will be screwed up.
Yeah.
Because you started out as this savior, and then I feel like there's just going to be resentment one way or the other.
Yeah. The thing to do would be, if it was me, I would express my concern to my friend about how I'm feeling about her situation and saying, you know, this is really hard to watch. You're so great. And you're, you know, being treated very badly. And I don't know if you feel that way, but if you want any help or support, I'm here.
Right. I think you deserve better than this. I want you to, I think you're worthy of something that's better than that.
Yeah.
I think you're shooting too low. You know, like try and focus on making her feel better about herself or her life or her world, and not just focus on how horrible the dude is.
Yeah.
Because of course the dude's horrible, but you can't really do much about that. So anyway, that's good advice, I think.
All right.
All right. Good luck. Person that didn't leave their phone number or their name.
That's okay if you don't want to leave your name. It's absolutely okay.
Absolutely. But you know what? That was it. That's our first podcast. Like that was it.
That was our last question.
That was it. That was the last question.
Fair enough.
All right. We had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. I guess I shouldn't be talking for you. I think this was fun.
Just don't talk for me.
Yeah, seriously.
No, I had a lot of fun too. It's funny sitting down with you and we're recording, so I'm mindful, like, we can't talk about everything.
Right.
And everything that we talked about between us, I had 10 more folding out stories from that one thing. So
exactly.
We will get through our relationship.
Plenty of fun, crazy, wacky stories ahead. But I thought this was really fun. And I hope you guys thought it was fun too, because I'd love to do this more.
Yeah. We should make at least one more.
I would like to.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening very much.
I really appreciate it. I hope you come back.
Where can they find us and submit our questions?
Well,
let's see. At Ask Lori Beth on Instagram and Twitter.
That's right.
What's the Facebook page?
The Facebook page is Bad Advice with Lori Beth Denberg on Facebook.
That's right. And also, you can go straight to askloribeth.com.
That's right.
And leave us questions there.
Straight through there.
Or call us at 1-855-DENBERG, 1-855-DENBERG.
And make sure you leave your name and where you're from if you want us to use it. If you want to be anonymous, be anonymous.
Absolutely.
We do not care.
And you can find me at LB Denberg at Twitter. No, wait, what is it? Oh, I'm not good at this.
The social medias.
At LB Denberg on Instagram.
There you go.
And at Lori Beth Denberg on Twitter. I think I even have the little check mark.
All right.
And can they find you anywhere, Clark?
I might be at Arts Delicatessen on Tuesday.
Oh, a nice Reuben.
Yeah, getting maybe some pastrami. It should be good.
All right.
All right.
Reach out, please. I want to hear your questions. I want to give you answers if I can.
You are all our friends now, so we can give you advice. We're here for you. We want to be here for you.
All right. Thanks for listening. Talk to you next time.
Bad Advice stars Lori Beth Denberg and Clark Crozer. The show is produced by me, Jeremy Balon, and part of the Seltzer Kings network. Our theme song is written and performed by Natty Ward. If you or someone you love is in need of some bad advice, you can submit your own question on our socials, all of which are Ask Lori Beth, or on our website at askloribeth.com, or for a nostalgic twist, you can call 1-855-DENBERG. That's right, 1-855-336-2374, and leave your question there. Thanks for listening.